Alright guys, let's do a visual approach from entering a left downwind. So the situation is we were being vectored for the ILS 24, but now ATC did tell us to expect the visual approach runway 24. So as you can see, we are almost on a left downwind for that airport. Technically, we're still under vectors. Now, the one thing that you want to do whenever you do a visual approach is you need to preset your secondary to the visual runway 24. Okay, arrival, and then just scroll until you just see 24, and then just nothing, no star, no anything, none, insert. It should give you, so the secondary should look like this if we look at the plan view. So the plan view, I know you don't see it, but there is a white line here. It extends from 2.4 up the way to CF. CF means center fix, and it is always 5 miles from the threshold. So CF, usually you should be at CF at 1,500 feet above aerodrome level. On this visual approach, since we're going left downwind, we really don't need to do that. Okay. So first off, here's the situation. We are being speed restricted to 230 knots and then 2,500 feet. So let's look at the Adobe Acrobat here. So as you can see, this is a visual approach if you're entering from a downwind. It does say from a beam to runway, the perf key should be pressed to activate the approach phase. We are not doing that right now. We are still in the descent or cruise phase. Check speed manage and select go around altitude. Okay. Now it does say autopilot and FD's off and then select downwind track. Truth is, you could, if you can also guide yourself on the downwind using the autopilot. Okay. What's important is that you get there at 1,500 feet, your traffic pattern altitude. Okay, so speed green dot or below, it will be flaps 1. So you should be flaps 1 and green dot or below when you enter the downwind pattern. All right. Then you should be looking outside your window and you need to start the timer. So how many seconds are we aiming for? For every 100 feet, it's 3 seconds. So by default, 1,500 feet, that's 45 seconds. 15 times 3, 45 seconds. Plus minus 1 second per 1 knot of wind. So if you have a headwind, as you go on the downwind, you will reduce it by how many knots? So it's a 5 knot headwind, you reduce it by 5 seconds. If it's a tailwind, sorry, you add 5 seconds. But if it's a tailwind, you reduce 5 seconds. If it was a 5 knot tailwind. Okay. I recommend 10 seconds before 45 seconds, which is 35 seconds. Do your flaps 2 and set your downwind track to the runway heading, which is 243 at this time. Once your flaps 2 and you are 45 seconds gear down, the gear down flow means you arm the spoilers, flaps 3, then flaps full. I recommend that you maintain about minus 400 feet per minute, and then you keep a visual to the runway, look outside your window as you turn final. And then your ideal vertical speed as on final will be your ground speed times 5. Let's try and do this, okay? So first off, ATC has told us, splitting 1, 2, 3, airport to your 10 o'clock, 8 miles, report in sight. And then you say airport in sight. So 1, 2, 3. So now you're gonna say ATC is gonna say splitting 1, 2, 3, Roger, you're cleared for the visual runway 24, report left downwind, report left downwind. So we can also descend down to traffic pattern altitude. We can use the autopilot, to give us a heading to join the downwind. So without looking, just by looking here, I can give us a heading of 030 to join the left downwind. So how much separation should there be between your aircraft and the runway once you are left downwind? 2.5 miles. These are these tick marks here, okay? So let's do that. Let's turn to a heading of 030. And then let's go down to 1,500. I want to slow down. Okay. So I'll have the approach face activated by the PF. And then manage the speed so that we can slow down. Okay. And if I could, actually I will do this now. I'll go flaps 1. Flaps 1, speed check. Flaps 1. So I'm just eyeballing it. When 2.5 miles is, I can probably do it now. So I'll go downwind of 063. I will press the bird buttons so that the aircraft will do the track mode, which will have the aircraft track for, you know, crosswinds and stuff. Okay. Now, once you're on the downwind, activate your secondary flight plan. Okay.
2,000.
Well, have the other guy activate the secondary. And sequence the flight plan properly. The next waypoint is MIA. We're not going to go there, so just clear the top line until the next waypoint is CF. We won't go to CF, okay? It depends on how far we go. So, I'll keep this on. We're looking for the threshold of runway 24, which is this one. Once we are abeam, we will start the timer and aim for 45 seconds. Alright? At this time, you can do APs and FDs off, but just because we're doing a tutorial and a single pilot, well, we can do FDs off. Here, FDs on, FDs on. Speed Alpha Star. Okay. So, are we abeam? Just look to your left, 90 degrees. There we go. Abeam the threshold, we start time. The PM will also start their time as well. So we're looking for 35 seconds, and then we deploy flaps 2, and then we set the downwind track to 243. I'll go ahead and disconnect my autopilot, manual flight. So again, 35 seconds. So if you're doing manual flight, this is your bird. You see these wings? This represents if you're climbing or descending. So these are your wings. This green line stands is your track. You want to keep it where the blue line is, what you set it to. Okay. All right, 35 seconds. Flaps 2, speed check. Flaps 2, and we'll set the runway heading 243, or the PM will do that rather. Set heading 243. Again, 45 seconds. So now, make a gentle left turn. Try 20 degrees, and then descend to about 400 feet per minute. You're looking for the PAPI lights as you go down and turn left, okay? 25 degrees. So you're looking for the runway. It is over there. You're looking for the PAPI lights. We descended down too much, so 400 feet per minute first. Once you see the PAPI lights on the runway, you can go ahead and adjust further. Okay, gear down. Of course, I'm doing PF and PM, so it's a bit hard. You can square the base. It doesn't have to be continuous descent. So we have a headwind right now, so that contributes to that. All right, I see it. It's 2 reds, 2 whites. So we just have to eyeball this, make a left turn. See that? 2 reds, 2 whites. So you just gotta eyeball it. Keep doing your flaps. Flaps 3, speed check. Flaps 3, flaps full, speed check. Flaps full. Landing checklist. You can have more landing. So this is gonna be hard because you're scanning outside. You're seeing 2 reds, 2 whites. You're also looking at your speed and your bird as well. So now, since I'm confident that we're 2 reds, 2 whites, and along the center path, I can modify my vertical speed. So right now it's ground speed 140 times 5, 700, 800 feet per minute. That's good. We're doing a 3-degree descent. How do I know we're doing a 3-degree descent? If you look at the top of this green line, right? Sorry, hold on. I'm gonna take Acrobat out first. The top of this green line, it's a 3-degree descent. So just play around with it, okay? So I will try and do another one without the commentary. Okay, there we go. Just because the Adobe Acrobat got in the way.
300.
Alright, let's pause this and we'll go back, okay? Okay, TC says putting 123 airport off here at 10 o'clock. 8 miles report in sight. Report in sight, roger. Get cleared visual runway 24 and report established. Alright, so let's go heading 030. Descend down to 1,500. Activate the approach phase first, and then manage speed so that so manage his push so that we can go down to traffic pattern altitude. I would do flaps 1 now and adjust the heading somewhere, maybe 020. Flaps 1, so check. Flaps 1. Okay, since we're about to hit like 2.5 miles to the runway, I'm going to turn right to 063. Okay, 063. I'll also do bird on for that wind correction.
$2,000.
So guys, you do need to memorize what the reciprocals of the runway are. Runway heading 243 means the reciprocal is 063. So find something that works for you. Alright, we're here on the downwind, so activate the secondary, please. Very good. And clear the top line. Clear top line, which is 1L. Okay. We're looking here for a beam, the threshold. Okay, a beam threshold, start timer. And at 35 seconds, we'll do flaps 2. Alright, 35 seconds, flaps 2 speed check, flaps 2, and I'll do FDs off and disconnect the autopilot now. Set cover track 243, and start a turn. 400 feet per minute, 25-degree bank for now, keep scanning, we're scanning left. 400 feet per minute, not too much please, maybe about 1 degree up. 1 degree nose up, that's, no, 2 degrees nose up, there we go. Okay, so yeah, I see the runway's in the dark patch over there. Dark patch. So I'm scanning here, there. Of course, there's an altitude alert. Gear down. Okay, turn left some more. So yeah, you can see we're a bit low. We were all reds there. Should be 400 feet per minute. So we got to maintain the sink rate. 25 degrees. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Flaps 3. Check. Flaps 3. Flaps full. We check. Flaps full. Now there are 3 reds and 1 white. Now I can see the runway. I can now adjust the bank. Maybe 10 degrees. Give us 10 degrees. 5 degrees. 2 reds, 2 whites, so now I'm going to pitch down to 3 degrees descent angle, which is keep the top of this bird onto the horizon.
1,000.
And just like that. Now we're aligned with the runway. So now my scanning is just going to be outside. If you were like an IMC doing a raw data, you would also check your localizer as well. But we're doing this we're doing this properly. So, of course, because I don't have a PM spoilers arm signs, all is well. Cabin's ready.
$500.
Check.
$400. $300. $200. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10.
Oh, there's a gust of wind.
5.
Alright, there we go, guys.